What's up guys, it is that Panda again. I'm here again with another video, and today this was a video requested by a channel member. It is Albert8360. I do want to take this real quick moment to thank you guys for actually becoming members of the channel. It actually means a lot to me and I do appreciate it. That being said, this question says best defense and offense in general and best for field fight combos please. And this video is a bit tricky as I do plan to do a separate video for hero combos in the field, and I will try to just do that in a different video. But I will just talk about best defensive and offensive heroes, right? The thing is, for defense, I think it's more straightforward, whereas I can pick one universally best hero, like Peterson, for example. Though I gotta understand, obviously not everybody can obtain Peterson. He is a top commander hero, which makes him much harder to obtain, and obviously just level and all that. That being said, Peterson and Lewis generally are the best possible duo that you can run on, Garrison. I will say, obviously, there will be substitutes such as like Tom. He's a good substitute for Peterson if you really aren't able to obtain him. Lewis is still a really good support hero here in this case. You also have, the thing is, these other heroes obviously aren't going to be as good, but they still, perform well enough. So, wait, do I not? Wait, I swear I had. Oh, wait, done. Oh, it's a different account. Okay, I thought this was my main account. I was so confused. But Jacob actually is a decent person that you can trade out for Lewis if you do end up wanting to compete for him in top commander. But the thing is, I think Lewis is much more obtainable, especially when he is a roulette hero, meaning that it's more likely that you're gonna have Lewis over Jacob, especially when he's obtainable much earlier out. Meaning he's also just easier to invest in over like the period of time. That being said, you get the general gist of things. Like if you don't have Tom, you can maybe substitute him for Raygro. If you don't have Raygro, I don't know what you're gonna do, man. I mean, there's obviously other heroes like a Dutt and stuff, but obviously, I think it goes down the line, such as like Peterson, then Tom, then this hero, then this hero. I usually like to lead with infantry heroes, and the main reason is because infantry are generally tankier, and that is like the most universal troop unit. It's not like it's going to be impossible to lead with someone like Lewis. If I really had to, I would lead with Lewis. I have in the past, and I actually don't hate it because I think Lewis is a good DPS hero. I think that's the biggest issue though. If you're like defending especially your base where it's more likely to melt in a shorter period of time, you don't want Lewis on your wall because you want it to last as long as possible. That's why I prefer a tanky hero, especially someone like Peterson who is able to get these skills that dish out heals. But either way, I still love Lewis. I still wouldn't mind using him even like as a leader hero if worse comes to worse and I have to. That being said, those are like my favorite defensive heroes. Offensive, I'm going to be assuming that this is referring to like a rally. If it comes down to Swarm, that is a whole different story. But let's say I wanted to rally this base. The thing is, I could see this in multiple ways, right? Like, you got to understand, from all that I know, it's better if you're leading with one specific troop type or you're running one specific troop type in a rally. So if I wanted to run a range rally or something, I keep forgetting this is my main, but I would run like Bella and here. Do I even have? Okay, I do have him right here. So I would run like Bella and this guy, right? And that's usually what I would do if I was to run an actual range rally. Or sorry, rider rally. That's what I prefer. If I'm to run like a range rally, I might run like Chun and the new hero Julia, right? Or I would run maybe the new hero and then Lewis, because I actually think that's kind of solid. But I don't know. People prefer Chun. The biggest issue for me with Chun, especially since she has to lead, is that she needs an extra 200 rage to activate. You see it costs 1.2k rage, whereas Julia can now lead, and the skill damage is the same as with Chun, and I mean his skills aren't bad overall, so I don't understand if Chun is better if I'm missing out on something. But either way, like if I had to run a range rally, I might just run Julia and Lewis, right? Because that is a range rally, and I understand earlier out this is a bit harder as you are much more limited on troops. And when you consider people who fill your rallies, they don't have full marches of range or full marches of riders or full marches of infantry, so setting up these things can be much harder. But it is more preferable that you do lead with like one troop type and you're more focused. Because I'm not trying to like say this right now because I feel like I may be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure there's been data that people have tested it. If you like mix troop types, the results are actually worse, and like you actually have like more wounded or like more casualties because of that. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's actually how it works. If I'm to run a rally, I have seen a lot of rallies with Eddie and our little friend. I think he actually leads because of his talent tree, but I've seen a lot of rallies with Robert and Eddie. But I actually think that personally, I would prefer a Dut and Eddie because a Dut, not only does she have the skill tree, which is just my preferred one, I think a Dut's still overall really high in stats. I don't get why people prefer Robert over her, in like a rally situation and stuff. But I personally think that these two would be heavy hitting infantry heroes. Of course, in some situations, you might change it out if you're not able to maintain your rally completely full, or you need that healing effect. You might put Peterson in here, maybe Eddie and Peterson, or something like that, right? I just wanted to do something to cover that real quick. If you're really going to have to mix, I would honestly still send a tanky hero if that's me personally. I don't really care for the mix heroes. Like maybe if you have Jin, that works, right? Like if you want to go like Jin Lewis to have a high damage rally, or like Jin Tom to have a little bit tankier of a rally. But if you don't have someone like Jin, I just send like some tanky heroes, right? Whatever tanky heroes that you can, and then I try to fill with the other stuff. Although I personally don't like that. I prefer, like I said, sending one troop type and focusing that. But I do hope this video was somewhat helpful. My friend Albert, I did my best here. If there is any other stuff that you have questions for, let me know. I will be trying to work on some videos. I'm actually getting a little hero list together, and I've been talking with my friend actually today about that. So I'm going to try to maybe have that video out as soon as possible, talking about good hero combos, and I'm planning to do hero combos that kind of talk about late game, just free to play, and maybe early game one. You know what I mean? So do let me know if this video helped you at all, and I do appreciate you, man. So I really do appreciate your support, and you have a good one. And anybody else watching this, have a good one as well. Thank you guys, and that is it. Peace.